also on YouTube on the Joy FM page, as well as on Facebook on the Joy FM page. That's right. So we are back with another episode of Game Plan. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Today has been a very solemn day, full of funeral and what have you. The burial of the fallen 8 is currently taking place at Shadow, the military hospital, military cemetery there. I don't know why I keep saying hospital, honestly, but it's plays in my mind. It does tell you that perhaps I feel like there is still hope that they would come back. They're just at the hospital trying to recover. But the reality is far worse than anything that my mind could ever imagine. So yeah, the burial is taking place at the military cemetery in Shadow there. So, if you've been listening to Joy FM all this while, you would have noticed that today has been a very, very long day for a lot of people. Also for my guest in studio, Daniel Cransing is here, as well as Victor Achitomaklo, teacher for Flavor Stream, is joining us via Zoom. Guys, welcome to the show. It's been quite the day.
Yeah, it has been, and thank you for having us.
Yeah. What about you, Daniel? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Just that's it.
I'm good.
You're good. I can't hear you, Jojo. I can't hear Daniel very well. So what's happening? Then he can speak again.
Why is it always me?
It's always you. They targeted you. It's Jojo. He has targeted you. Now I can hear you clearly. Now I can hear you.
You notice that this only happens when Karim is sitting by Jojo.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
When Jojo is alone, Daniel suffers no glitches.
That's Karim. Karim.
Listen, today we have basically two topics. Prosper Harrison Ado, the General Secretary of the Ghana Football Association, is joining us for a conversation on everything that happened at Galcar, everything around Ghana football and what have you. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the English Premier League and wrap up with what's happening here with our special guest. So that's what we're going to do here on the show. Natino is here as well. Nathaniel Ato joining us. Nat, I thought you were out there emceeing the funeral.
Yeah,
it's a very surprising to see you in here.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like the year that. Which of you said yeah? You said yeah, right? Danny K.
Yeah, very vimless year.
Yeah. Today is one for great reflection.
Yeah.
I have traveled via that particular helicopter, or one in the fleet, at least on 2 occasions. One of them was on a presidential assignment, and then the other was, when the Ghana Armed Forces wanted to honor the late Prince Amate, one of Ghana's only 5 Olympic medalists, who was a military officer, during his active years as an amateur boxer and a member of the national amateur boxing team, the Black Bombers. So, I've been up there, I've had the experience before, but that's just to say that we have some very amazing professionals in aviation, in the armed forces and all of that, and it is very, very heart-wrenching. It's difficult, it's tough, especially when you have to look at the reactions of some of the family members and how difficult it is for them. Out of the 8, I knew Dr. Omane Boama on a personal note would attend Mass at Christ the King together and all of that. So anytime before we discussed anything work related, would have a conversation about family. The first time he met my first daughter, he gave her a present at church, and since then every time we talk about family and all of that.
Yeah.
And I also remember all the various rounds in our stable here at Multimedia, loads and loads of current affairs across our platforms, and on this floor of the building alone you have how many radio studios? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you'd see Dr. Amani Boama here, and I remember many years ago when he had bought a new car. It's not physically so present, so something very cute, as they would put it, and the the immediate past CEO of STC, Nana Akomia, Honorable Nana Akomia, and a few other colleagues. I said, hey, Charlie, opposition, you they buy fresh car like that. They had a very good laugh about it. But Asante Kotoko put out, so out of the 8, Asante Kotoko has, 3 of them as their fans, and there's actually a picture I have here on my phone, which has Honorable the late Omane Boama, in his Kotoko jersey. Striking a pose with Honorable Sam George, who was in his Hearts of Oak jersey. Yeah,
so, he doesn't hide his Kotoko affiliation.
Yeah,
he's
that's
very vocal
true.
about it.
That's very true. And look, it's a day of serious. Is that we all learn a lesson from it. That there are people who are prepared to give their all and go various lengths to serve country. And so while we're all going at this, let us always think about the interests of the country. May they be received well in the arms of the Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much for that, Nat. Nabila is here as well. You've not been on the show for a while. How are you doing?
I was chasing invitational stuff.
Yeah. Very important as well. Very important. Listen, like I said, today we have a very special guest. Prosper Harrison-Addo will be joining us in studio, which means that we will shift our conversation on Ghana football to when he gets here. As we like to do usually, we start with Ghana football stuff and then we gravitate. We barely talk about anything else, really. But before Prosper comes, let's get some other stuff out of the way. Obviously, the Premier League returns today with Liverpool in action, open their title defense at 7 p.m. this evening. We've had very interesting build-up to the Premier League seasons and what have you. Danny K, let me begin with you. What are your expectations of how the Premier League season will go? Who are you picking for, I don't know, to win the Premier League title, I guess? I've seen your prediction.
You've seen the prediction, but you're asking me.
Yes. I want to understand the thought behind it. If it's not some agenda behind it. Because for you to pick Chelsea to win the Premier League, this is the first time you have picked Chelsea to win the Premier League since
Do you want Chelsea to win the league?
What I want is beside the point.
The last time he chose Arsenal.
Do you want Chelsea to win the league?
You see,
Do you want Chelsea to win the league?
It's beside
Do
the
you
point.
want Chelsea to win the league?
But what kind of question is
No.
But
I'm
this
telling
man,
you that.
Do you want Chelsea to win the
this
league?
man at a point in his journey here.
Do you want
What's
Chelsea
the
to win
name?
the league?
Salamatu Fentu Tahiru.
No, you wait.
Fentu. So what
I'm
are
not
we
asking
talking
him to
about?
predict. No,
Daniel,
I'm just asking
on
him
behalf
what
of
he
Chelsea.
wants. I'm not asking him to predict. Do
Daniel
you want
K.
Chelsea to win the league?
Danny K.
At what point did you become Danny K?
Do you want Chelsea to win the league? It's very important.
Guys.
Danny K
I've
wants
answered
this.
the question.
That's why he's not.
No,
Do you want Chelsea to
I've
win?
answered the question.
You haven't. What did you say?
I said what I want is beside the point. What will happen is what we are talking about. And Danny K has predicted what will happen.
I am asking you. Do you
Don't
want
ask
Chelsea
me
to
what
win
I
the league?
want.
Do you want Chelsea to win the league?
Don't ask me what I want.
Shame on you.
Danny K,
I've not predicted what will happen.
what you want to happen.
What I think.
What you think will happen.
Yes.
Okay, good. What do you think that's going to happen?
No, but before I get there, you see, these days,
What have I
do
done?
some things I don't like.
Like what?
Why do you say for me to predict Chelsea as like some who something? But you were with me when Thomas Tuchel took over the team, when Lampard was coach and Thomas Tuchel, and even you said I was mad at the time for saying Chelsea will win the Champions League at the end of that season. I said nobody in Europe could beat Chelsea, and true, it came to pass. If I think it will happen, I'll say it. If I don't think it will happen too, I'll say it. But don't come and make it look like me, Mimpe Chelsea as same. It's like, for you to choose. You are the world champions.
Mm-hmm.
How can you conquer the world and not be capable of winning your domestic league? Chelsea is very, very, very capable. They've built a squad that is very capable, has solid players all around. Even last season when we didn't think they were ready, they mounted a title challenge. It just fell through at a point. But they are good enough to go the long haul this time around. And I generally think this season is very close. The signings that the top teams have brought in, the coaching level in the Premier League is going to be really close. So for me, even the points gap between the first and the fourth or first and the fifth, I don't think it will be that much. It will be that close. I think there are 4 teams who genuinely have a proper claim to the title. And I just feel like Chelsea have a slight edge. It could be Arsenal, it could be Liverpool, it could be Man City. Even maybe Man U. Man U, if they sign Baleba, may even sneak in there. But the point is, I think Chelsea have a slight chance of winning the Premier League this season. You can't go from the form they showed at the tail end of the last 3 months of the season, going to conquer the world, bringing players like Joao Pedro, Stavo, Gittins, top quality players who will change any team. A coach who has now got the winning feeling back into the squad. And you see, Chelsea is some team who, if you don't want Chelsea to win trophies, just pray that their bad spell continues for a long time. But once they start believing that they are good enough, it's trouble. It's just a Chelsea thing. And you got you will be dumb to count them out of this Premier League title. So for me, the way they've ended last season, back-to-back trophies, entering this season with that belief, that spirit, look, I genuinely think they can go all the way. So for me, Chelsea are favorites to win the title.
Adding a bit to
How is this agenda?
Yeah, adding a bit to what he's saying. Yeah.
Natino,
Yeah.
why? What? I've seen your prediction. I've said so. No, you need to justify your prediction. Don't add to what Danike has said.
But what is the prediction and how different is it from what Danike has said?
And
then what is important is who is at number 1 on this prediction. Danike has Chelsea at number 1. I also have Chelsea at number 1.
Yes.
But you, Charlie, this guy, we have to test his loyalty.
But you have gone to put Man U in number 6.
Why not?
Man City in number 5.
Why not?
Mm-hmm. Why you are saying that?
Let me tell you what I think. I mean, I always talk about the non-football reasons and the football reasons. Okay, for the football reasons, there's a very obvious, there's a very obvious turn of events and chain of events within Chelsea, and like Danny said, we are seeing a certain winning mentality. And guess what? If you want to roll back to the days of Jose Mourinho, how he was able to bring, these Portuguese players, African players together to get him the kind of magic and the bite that Chelsea was known for at the time. Mm-hmm. You are seeing a lot of it here. And I think that the participation in the FIFA Club World Cup and winning it eventually is going to do a lot for them. But that is not to say that there won't be a lot of competition. Remember, there's an Arsenal hanging by the side who are still reeling from the pain of trying yet another time the just gone by season and not getting it right, and now taking out a Thomas Partey, making some some changes in
quite a lot of additions. They signed a striker, Gyökeres. They signed 2 midfielders,
exactly,
Noga,
and trying to get it right and to get a cohesive team, in a season that sure will bring a lot of tough competition. In the past few days, we've even seen and heard, Fabrizio Romano say that there's a likelihood that Gianluigi Donnarumma can find himself in Newcastle, and that can be a big deal because, we do know what he's made of. But back to the point, the non-footballing reason. So once again, it's a mentality thing, and a lot of the time, we the fans don't place premium on it. I think that the kind of form that has been shown can easily be replicated and carried forward, and for those who have complained, I know that the likes of Jurgen Klopp have complained very bitterly about these kinds of tournaments that are played in the off-season and how much of an effect they have. But let's see if they display any fatigue of any sort. We're yet to see. We have to see the game start, and then we can take it from there.
So
but
Chelsea
for me, I believe strongly that Chelsea can make it happen this season for themselves.
Interesting. Muftar Nabil Abdullah, who did you pick to win the league?
I chose Man City for obvious reasons.
Those obvious reasons are?
One of them is the fact that the Pep Guardiola factor. Season was just one of those. But I'm of the opinion that they will come back stronger. Liverpool will still be in there because I chose Liverpool as second. Okay. But I believe Man City will be champions at the end of the season.
Interesting pick, but not so surprising, to be honest. What about Victor?
Liverpool.
to win the league title.
Yeah.
Where do you think Chelsea will finish?
I think top 4.
Top 4 is not a position.
4th place.
You see this guy. You see
Charlie,
this
so
guy.
like I can't talk. If somebody say, Charlie, if somebody says Chelsea will win,
He's
you
confused.
don't like.
He's
They
confused.
say Chelsea 4th, you don't like. You, what did you? Where did you say Chelsea?
That's why I was asking, what do you want?
Hold on.
Who should hold on?
Hold on.
You are confused.
Where did you predict Chelsea?
You
to
said
finish?
top 4. Top first is also top 4.
I said
Right.
4th.
Then
asked
I
again
ask
and
you
clarified. I
which
said
position in top 4 are you say 4?
I said 4th, yes. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Let's go on.
Better. Liverpool.
Liverpool will defend the title.
Yeah.
You do. Slot manages to win the Premier League back-to-back seasons. He would have been a greater manager than Jurgen Klopp. In
Why?
the Premier, Klopp's won 1 Premier League title in 8 years. If this guy wins back-to-back, that's 2 in 2. Is 2 not greater than 1?
So Liverpool participated in only the Premier League under club. And
said
only
in
the
the
Premier League
Premier
under.
I said
Wait.
in the Premier League.
Wait,
So I
wait.
specified. He
Wait,
would have been a
text
greater
you.
Premier League manager than
You would have
Jurgen
won
Klopp.
more.
He would have won more.
Yes.
Therefore, greater.
Greatness transcends winning. You would
What
have-
defines what
you
the,
would have
no, no,
to
fair.
explain
No,
what
no,
you
fair.
mean by
yes, fair. But greatness transcends winning. Yes,
You'd have
fair.
to explain what
but
you mean
winning,
by is
hold
greater.
on, but doesn't winning constitute a greater part of what makes you great?
I'm saying that if you have won
Have you
more,
ever seen greatness without winning?
friends, if you have won more, you have that. No, where the results are similar, there has to be
Similar
other
saying what
things.
2 and 1 is not similar.
Okay, which other things make him greater than Klopp? No.
Who? As a lot.
Yes.
I don't know. His
You-
name,
because you
But
could have
were
said
specific.
better.
You said Premier League.
Because you
So
could have
why-
said better. You could have said he's done better than Klopp, but you said greater. So what
Yeah, I said
else?
he's greater. I said if, and this is all hinging on
conditional.
if he
Yes,
wins.
I'm saying that when he does that, what else?
He would have done something that Klopp has never done in the Premier League.
Yeah, because greatness is a sum total of many
Yeah, a
other
lot of
things,
things.
which includes winning.
Yes,
So,
because there are
yeah.
people that are great. There are those that are greater than greatest. It doesn't mean the other one hasn't won, but there are levels to it. Klopp has won 1, great manager. And a Slot, if he wins 2, greater manager. Anyway, back to business. Seriously though, Liverpool have strengthened well, you think? I feel like they're still light in certain areas, but what's
They-
convincing you that they've done good enough business to...
Admittedly, they are still light. I think this season they would need someone who's more of a central midfielder. I thought the team needed the kid who played for Crystal Palace, Adam Watson. I think it would be an excellent fit for him. I think that even should be a priority need, right? A priority position. That and another wide player, not necessarily a centre forward. That is why I have been surprised that they are pushing out the boat and throwing the kitchen sink at Newcastle for Alexander Isak. But even without those two, they are adding a lot of creativity. They've added a world-class attacking midfielder. They've added a world-class wing back to that team. And they've added someone who can play as a centre forward, can also play off a striker, and can play out wide on the left, right? Offering a number of tactical solutions. And when you are building a team, those are the things that will excite every manager. Not just someone who is just coming to compete for one position, but a player who you can introduce into different tactical contexts, and the output will not suffer. The team will not suffer. I mean, if you play Ekitike on the left where Gakpo plays, the team would not have lost too much. Granted that you have a centre forward there. If you play him as a centre forward, the team would not have lost too much. If you want to play with 2 strikers or a centre forward and another playing off him, he is still a good fit for it. And the good news for Liverpool is that they are making all of these changes while they are still on top, while they still are a high performance team. So Ekitike walks into a team where he is not expected to score 20 Premier League goals a season, or even 20 goals in all competitions. If he does, great. But there is time for him to learn and acclimatize himself with the Liverpool environment and then start producing, because the team is already settled. What is important is that they do not shift significantly or too far away from what served them well last season and in the seasons before, so that you will still be getting your results and the good performance from the established players that you have. And then over time, when they slot in you are able to even have a better complement. And I think if what we saw in that game against Crystal Palace is anything to go by, what the manager will be asking of them, and by them I'm talking about the two main players they've signed, Florian Wirtz and the Ekitike, should not be too dissimilar from what they are used to or from the environments within which they thrive. This morning I was watching Slots explain the similarities between what Florian Wirtz does or did for Xabi Alonso and what he's going to ask of him. And he says he looked at the player, looked at the way Leverkusen played, and he is convinced that there is not a great departure from what the player is used to and the environment in which he thrives.
Interesting.
So there is that understanding, and that for me is why I don't think anyone makes up enough ground over Liverpool to use.
Not even Man City with all the business they've done.
Liverpool City's first have to catch up with Arsenal before.
Where do you think Arsenal will finish then?
I think second place.
And so City is outside top 2 for you?
Yes, because Arsenal have not addressed the one position that was the difference between them and Liverpool, which was left wing, or another player who adds goals to the team outside of the central areas that we're used to.
By left wing, you're talking about where Martinelli and Trossard play.
Yes.
Until they need a better player.
Yes, because while they solved the Saka problem, last season when Saka went injured in the Premier League, by the time he returned, Arsenal were now 9 points behind Liverpool. So it's important that you have a substitute in someone like Madueke. I think Dalman also looks someone who can give you some 5 decent games, or 5 games come off the bench, 15 minutes, looks okay. But the problem is that left side, because everything Arsenal do comes through the middle or the right side.
Where do you think Gyökeres is coming?
Straight forward, centre forward.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
straight into the starting lineup as centre forward.
Last season, we know that Arsenal also missed Kai Havertz a lot because he was out injured for very long spells.
Yeah.
With him coming, and with Gyökeres and Saka and Martinelli, how do you and Noni Madueke, you still think that they don't have enough men across that front three to figure out how to efficiently deploy them?
The question you're asking is a multi-layered. The answer
Yeah, so I'm saying that in that there's no solution to the left
The
wing
answer to
still.
the first part is this. In Gyökeres, they have... Look, even without a centre forward, it looked like they solved that problem fairly well, right? In how they shuttled between the Belgian winger, Trossard, and then the guy they signed from Spain.
The
former Newcastle United, last season, the former
Merino.
Newcastle, between Mikel Merino. So,
Yes.
to a point. So, I was not too worried about that. And I think the way they handled it showed everyone that, look, they appreciate there's a problem that needs to be solved. I'm just saying that for a team that drew 14 Premier League games in the season, one centre forward signing does not suddenly convert all of those 14 games into wins. You need others to chip in. And the one area where Arsenal have not been productive is that left wing. That is why I felt they needed an upgrade on Martinelli more than they needed Nordgaard. Because between the two signings, an upgrade moves the needle for Arsenal more than a deputy holding midfielder or a deputy central midfielder who perhaps would only start games somewhere in December. You get me?
Yeah.
That was my issue with Arsenal. As for the centre forward and the right side, the only problem that we all had last season was a focal point, someone to bury the goals.
Actually, who did you pick to win the league last season?
Last season, do I remember? Last season, I said Arsenal.
Oh, last season you said Arsenal.
Yeah, I said Arsenal.
Fred Smith says that everybody should share their predictions from last season so that you will know how to treat your predictions for this year.
He should also share his prediction from last season. So that we know
he should share his prediction for the
published.
last. He should share his prediction for the last 10 years.
Yes, so that we know whether to take him seriously or not.
That again,
Sunday is not far. Tell him, Fred Smith, Sunday is not far.
do you agree with? Because I mean, the truth is that you have backed Arteta for the past, if I'm not mistaken, 3 seasons at least. Every year, you back them until you don't back them anymore when it's all falling apart. Achu says that he doesn't think Arsenal are title contenders because they've not solved some
I said
critical...
I don't think they'll win it. I didn't. If they are second, it means they
No,
will
no,
contend
okay.
for it.
Let me rephrase. He doesn't think they will win it because they are still very light in certain areas, critically left wing. What do you make of the business, and why would you pick Chelsea over them?
I've backed Arsenal for the last 2 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been Arteta's friend since he got the job. And you remember.
When you first got the job, you were on his case.
No, but that's what friends do. But the guy wasn't doing well. I should say he's doing well. No, he wasn't doing well.
You gave him a nickname.
Akonana to Atetus. Yeah, but he has not won my
Charlie,
league.
and how you they pronounce the guy name? This one says like a TK, trying to sound like the commentators in the they no be so they call
Tikelengele.
they call him Eketike. Charlie, carry on.
That's my guy. Look, to be frank, I agree. When I say we the Atetus boys, we need to, and I'm talking to him.
You and Fred Smith.
No, me and I'm close to the Arsenal board. The fans there, me, I don't.
You don't roll with them.
No, like Arsenal fans love me because I'm very close to their manager. But
I have one particular meme that I share every time Arsenal are on top of the league.
the elephants.
I just send it to all my Arsenal fans. I don't say anything. I just send it to you. You know what it means.
We don't go mind you say.
Or that driver with a small car and then articulator at the back. You don't look through the window and you are scared.
See, forget the point I was making. For the past 10 years, all those who have been backing Man City to win the league, it's the safest prediction you can ever go. It's safe because, yes, it's Pep Guardiola.
Yes.
And if it doesn't work, nobody will come for your case.
The guy has won 4 in a row.
There are no Man City fans. Nobody will come to do against. So if it doesn't fire, it's the safest. We can all go Man City if we want. If we don't want trouble, we can all go.
So what sort of agenda?
Man City is the safest thing. The people who are saying Man City, they should go and sleep somewhere. Last season when I said Man City will not win, they said I was mad. Hey, go and check that video. I say comments from Zimbabwe, Rwanda. See, I've gone to Abua. Do you know the word Abua? I've translated Abua in different languages all across Africa.
Because you predicted.
Because I said Man City won't win.
Interesting.
They came for me. Well, I'm saying that the transfer window is not over.
Yes.
But as at now, I don't think Arsenal have the best squad to win the league.
Okay.
I said it to be very close, very competitive, but I don't think Arsenal need to get a left winger, a more prolific or dynamic left winger, somebody who can either create chances or somebody who can add to the goals. As for Saka, he will give you. Gyökeres will give you once you create a chance for him. Odegaard can chip in a few. Havertz, when he comes, can chip in a few. But you need threat all around. Point blank. You can't be a top team and not have threats. Your front line must have threats all around. And to be frank, Martinelli and Trossard don't really give that. Martinelli of 3 seasons ago was really good. Okay. Since then, he's not even stagnated. He's dipped in form. And for me, if you've given a player how many years? I think he's been at the club, 5 years. If you've given him 5 years and the only good season he had was 3 seasons ago, then that's the anomaly. That means the guy is just no reach. So Arsenal need to go and strengthen. And we've heard at the start of the transfer window, they were talking about links with Eze. Then that, what do you call it?
Rodrigo.
No, the release clause expired. Because he had this release clause at a certain date for 70-something million euros. It expired, so now you have to go and say to the clubs. Now we are hearing that Tottenham Hotspur are the ones who are pursuing the deal more actively. Arteta shouldn't accept the team as it is. He needs to go and get a left winger. Because a left winger... You see,
who would you recommend?
Oh, Bakola. Bradley Bakola.
Then Bradley Bakola, no...
Look.
The PSG fans too have issues with Timo. They say he doesn't be
end product.
End product, no some way.
Me, I'll be top scout too.
I'm listening to you.
Me, I'm a top scout.
Convince me.
I'm a top scout.
Thank you.
The Bakola, no, that guy. You see the way everybody's talking about Dembele Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
Bakola has that potential.
He needs Le Click.
Oh, he just needs that manager, that club that has time for him. The time that Arsenal has spent on Martinelli, if they gave that to Bakula,
Like by now, world class.
oh, but like by now they will be talking. He's a danger. He's not Saka inside his post. I'm telling you, not be Saka inside safe.
That's how much you rate him.
Actually, he has more to his game.
Look, the guy is strong. He's quick, dribbling. He can maneuver his way out of any situation. His only problem is after that, what?
Right.
And that thing can be taught. We saw what Pep did with Sterling.
Yes.
We saw what Pep
Sterling
did
had
with Leroy
crazy numbers under Pep.
The guy is running. Sterling could dribble. He was quick, everything. But he was frustrating. Pep took him. We saw. And after Pep too, we saw. So he just needs that right environment. We've seen players like that before. We saw Leroy Sané before and after Pep.
True.
And we saw him during Pep. So sometimes you just need that manager who has time for you.
And a bit of trust.
And a bit of trust. And for me, Charlie Bakula, I know. Player!
He really is skillful, to be honest.
He has everything in his game to be a
Yeah,
good
he's
player.
quick.
Everything. His shot power, the technique. It's just the timing and the choice of the technique. That thing he comes with. And you see, the reason why I want him to go to Arsenal is this praise I'm even giving to Pep. Who was in charge of what there was this he had his real name no.
So they call the player development.
Player development coach.
Yes.
It was Arteta. Arteta is a guy who sat with.
He was
Sterling.
responsible for individual development of the player.
Like what Otuado was doing with at a
so
point.
1v1 sessions.
Yes, it was Arteta who was teaching
Sterling.
There's no reason why Arteta can pick Bakula and turn him into this thing.
But why
So-
you do that to Martinelli?
No, Marcelo was you see, no. The thing,
Good question.
if you don't have it, you don't have it. As for that thing, if you don't have it, you don't have it. The point is, Sterling, we could see that there was potential, but it wasn't getting there. The City took him to the next level. Martinelli, no. You see, Brazilian know if you dribble before. All the Brazilians who can dribble, they know reach. Richarlison, Anthony, Martinelli, they just run. Brazilian forward, you can't dribble. That's serious error. What are you talking about? So,
So
Bradley
you're
Bakula,
saying that. So if I understand you well,
you are coming to fool.
no. No, I was gonna say, oh, Danny K, don't do that.
I know you.
So I no,
Look at the look in your eye. I can tell. You can see.
no. I was
But why
gonna
do you
say-
think he's laughing?
No,
He knows he has been caught.
No. Seriously, seriously. Yeah, I was gonna say that. So he's trying to say that Arteta no is Thomas Edison and Bradley Bakula is a light bulb. So he's the one who's going to light him up. That's what you're saying, right? You've seen the video of Arteta's holding the light bulb.
You don't be serious.
So that's why he's shining it on Bakula's face like this. No, is it? Do you see this bulb? Thomas Edison discovered this bulb. He didn't discover it by playing the way you are playing.
The match they brought back those videos, no, they don't collect you.
Arteta is the only one who took a big speaker to go and put in Arsenal training
That
ground
thing there was John.
and
That thing I
played
told him was John.
and played Liverpool's anthem.
Only for them to go and lose 4-1.
Imagine if he had no
He
play.
said he said he wants to create the Anfield atmosphere
Atmosphere.
at
With
the
speaker.
training ground with speaker. And then they were playing the song they played. He was shouting at the
A
play.
low move song.
When they went to the Anfield, no,
Top
1,
four.
2, 3, 4, it didn't work. Anyway, listen, let's have quick thoughts on Man City then. Obviously, yes, you say they don't have fans, they don't have this, but a lot of people are picking them to win the league again this season, and that is mostly because of the business they've done. From January up until now, they've signed, like, if I'm not mistaken, at least 6 quality players. In January alone, they signed 3 quality players and spent over 150 million. So that whole rebuild didn't just start today. They brought in Nico Gonzalez, brought in Kuchanov, they brought in Mamouche. Those 3 in January alone. And this summer, they've already brought in Ryan Cherky, they brought in Ait Nouri, and then they also brought in, I think, one more player. Who is that? Apart from
Tijani.
Tijani Reinders. Top signings. They've lost Kevin De Bruyne, who hasn't contributed much anyway in the last I don't know, maybe 28 to 30 months. And then have they lost another key player? We are hearing that Savinho could be leaving. So they've done really good business and brought in really good players. Why aren't you guys rating them and believing that they have enough to go on and win the league? And as Muftau said, you add the Pep Guardiola factor and you're looking at a squad that is very much capable, and yet two of you, especially sitting there, don't rate them. You actually in particular. What do you have against Man City, Pep Guardiola's squad right now that you just think that it is still simply don't have it? And it's Pep.
So the problem is not him. The problem is the players he signed.
He signed them.
Yes. In the past, whenever City make a signing, 9 out of 10 times it's a hit, especially for the high-profile signings. You can, even for those who started slow, by the time they left the club, there was no question about their suitability to the projects and the value that they brought. So at every stage, in fact, after his first season, he signed an entire squad, right? Even for the ones that we thought were outrageously overpriced, like Vadio. Yes. Still, I don't think there's a question about his suitability to the role and the value that he has given Manchester City, even though he has played at left back since joining. So, if you compare that history from Vadio to Raheem Sterling to Riyad Mahrez to all of these players, if you compare them to the ones who City have had in the past 18 months, Jeremy Doku, Savinho joined only last year and he's already on his way out. The ones that they signed in January as well, Kushanov, Nico Gonzalez,
yes,
and the gang, only Mamouche has worked out. So for the first time, I am not convinced about City's recruitment and the tools they are giving Pep. So it is not even a question of what he wants to do, but what he has to work with. That is where my doubt is. Not that I doubt Pep himself. Because all of the players that City have signed, look, as we speak, there's not a single one that inspires confidence. There was a time when City, there was a time when City signed.
Hold on. You mean all that money, all those players, none of them?
Not in terms of having a transformational effect.
But we were here talking about how Reinders is one of the.
That's why I said not in terms of having a transformational effect. If I have any hope of City doing well this season, it's on Pep.
And the fact that Nations League, Cherky came in for like few minutes and everybody said, this is the guy. Then Pep goes to sign him. And you're saying that he's not.
None of them.
Aid Nouri, Premier League proving.
Look, we are all waiting. There was a time, but you've forgotten that every season, when City sign a player, everybody panics. Even if the player is
panic when they start. Okay, until now.
Oh. Even if the player is overpriced, you know what City are going to do that they hardly miss with their signings. Even before you think of what Pep is going to do, the fear has always been this guy and what he does with players. You don't have such players to him. But this time around, there isn't that fear.
Interesting.
If anything, if any player is going to have any transformational season at City, it will likely be the established order. Most likely Erling Haaland, because whether City do well or not, between 20 and 25 Premier League goals, you are guaranteed. Or Pep himself and how seamlessly he can make the transition for the players and the structure he will create.
I slightly agree with you.
Yes.
When I was signing Savinho, we all thought that was the next Riyad Mahrez. And the guy, in fact, after his first game, Riyad Mahrez posted that. He posted some emoji like of the player, like who is this? Like as to like
exactly. Look, for me,
but now they're saying he's going.
Look, who had a good season from City last season?
Mamouche.
No, but you see, generally,
didn't really live.
Generally, you wouldn't push them out that early. But we've seen City players who did not have a great start. I think was Mahrez a guaranteed starter.
City are not pushing
Savinho out.
The thing is, they said that once you're a Man City player and you express a slight desire to leave, Pep wants you gone.
Right.
And if City will only allow Savinho to leave if he wants to leave. And they are waiting to see if he goes. If he goes, then they are going for Rodrigo. The only reason why me personally, and I said, you see, there's a caveat. This first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I'm saying that this season for me is different. My prediction is not like the person who has finished first will guard the person who has finished fourth. It's very, 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 very close. And the point gap will be very close. That's how I see it. The only reason why, and I said, as at now, the transfer window is not over. We know Rodri is injured. For a player to suffer an ACL, come back and suffer another setback, it is, in sporting terms, you know, it has a huge effect on his abilities. So even when Rodri comes back, I don't expect the same player. And Rodri is the most important player in the Pep system. No matter the tactical changes, variations, it will always be premised on a set of philosophy or a set of principles. That one, it won't change. And I'm saying that a large reason why last season I mentioned that City were going to struggle was, one, you remember last season, Rodri didn't start the season with them. He was slowly being eased in after the Euros.
Yes.
I thought that City had issues in his absence. Aside him, the entire team wasn't pressing as effectively. And I said that opposition teams have started noticing, so they were becoming more and more confident when they were facing Man City. That fear factor from City is gone. So teams will enter and approach with a certain level of offensive presence. They will come at them. The Tijani Reinders, no, he's my player, you know, but I see him, he's more of a box-to-box player than that deep-lying player. If he does the deep line, he can do a job. But I don't think he can do it to the level of Rodri. It is now up to Pep to show us, as he's done season after season after season,
that he can transform him.
But until he does that, no, it is too close for me to give City that leeway and say it is Pep, so it will happen. Because it is Pep, but he finished far away from the title last season. Finished trophyless, he didn't win anything. So at the end of the day, Pep is also a human being. But as for the signings that he has signed, that's why I disagree with Achu. Oga, you can't watch Ryan Aït-Nouri in the Premier League and tell me he coming to Man City doesn't strike fear in you. That bomb, the guy was playing for Wolves. If he didn't register assists and goals and offensive play like that. Now, at Man City, it's obvious he's going to change their style a bit. So let's wait till the end of the transfer window. If City don't do anything, if they don't, if Rodrigo walks through the door right now, I'm changing my prediction. I'm telling you,
you're going from
I'll change it to Man City. I'll change it. If Isaac comes to Liverpool, I'll change. It is still.
So yeah, it's fluid.
It's fluid. Yeah, it's not
like Bango. Rodrigo.
If Arsenal go get Rodrigo, Arsenal gets on Rafa Leao easy, I'll change it. So if Man United gets Baliba, I'll change it. If they get a goalkeeper, I'll change. So some of these things, like as at now, I don't see how City will go past the teams I've put them. Okay, maybe they may go past Man, but I mean, I'll remove Man from top 4 and put City there. I won't do. So aside Man United, I don't see how City goes past the rest of the teams I've put ahead of them. But it's still really, really close.
Yeah, very early on. Obviously, a lot can change throughout the season. And even by the end of the transfer window, as Daniel indicated, I agree with you 100%. One team can make one signing that completely transforms them.
You can't.
Prosper Harrison Ado is here, ladies and gentlemen. Our special guest.
His argument is flawed.
Prosper, because you are a Liverpool fan.
It's not because of that. You can't say if one person walked through the door, you change your prediction. We don't do it like that.
We can do
so
it
are
like
you
that.
going to say that if one person gets injured, you change your prediction?
If one person gets injured, it can affect the team.
So you see, stay with your prediction.
No. I'll change.
Because he did the prediction knowing that a lot can change at the different teams, right?
No, so second window, when people walk in, would he change his prediction? We don't do it like that. You predict and you stay with it.
Feel like they catch you.
No, then wait. I mean, we only released it today, so I can go back to the designer and call Arteta and Pep, and then I can see if I'll change something.
Prosper, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm fine. And
Thank you for coming. We've got a very good 40 minutes to get into quite a number of issues as well. But before we do that, let me just remind you that we officially now released our Joy Sports Fantasy League. It's been shared to all our Joy Sports handles. So go to Joy Sports on Facebook, go to Joy Sports on Twitter, Joy Sports on Instagram, Joy Sports on TikTok, and you will find our FPL code there, JBG8BB. If you want to join right now, it's JBG8BB. At the end of the season, whoever wins the Joy Sports Fantasy League will release the prize very soon. But it's going to be either a mobile phone or a television set. That's what it's going to be at the end of the season. So it will be, because we're working out the fine details. Once we sign the contract, it's from an electronics company that sells phones and televisions to sponsor our FPL.
Boga, if I win, I'll take it. Don't come and tell me that.
If you win, you're not part.
I'm part. FPL and multimedia don't have any relationship. It is strictly mind power.
It's true.
Data and analytics.
Joy Sports that will give you advantage.
Master, if I work hard and I win, I'll collect the phone and the TV. I'll collect it. They can't stop me.
That unfortunate thing you pull is not fine because you are part. You cannot win. Why can't I?
You see this season, crowd, the FPL, they've made some small changes. Those of you are listening, maybe if you're having this season, if they will award points, 2 bonus points for every 10 defensive actions for a defender.
Solid.
If you are a midfielder, 12 defensive actions.
Like this Steve Jordan Day Premier League, our captain now.
Defensive actions every day.
I go 2 bonus points. I go
and defensive actions are blocks, clearances, tackles. Right? If you are a defender and you make 10 of them, you get 2 bonus points. So it's no longer just clean sheet or scoring goal. If you're a midfielder like Casedo, in fact, they said, I read somewhere that if those metrics were in session last season, Casedo would have brought in 42 bonus points alone.
Wow.
Bonus. Because he led the Premier League by defensive actions of all midfielders. And then defenders too, it was James Tarkowski. He did that guy. FPL.
Oh, he did my team inside.
Oh, he did
As for boom boom there, you give me.
Anyway, thank you very much. So that's that on the EPL. Let's know. I'll just go through the fixtures for this weekend, and then we'll get to Prosper. The fixtures are Prosper himself are asking whether his team will win the league this season. But anyway, there's Liverpool versus Bournemouth. That's today at 7. Tomorrow you have some 5 matches there. There's Aston Villa, Newcastle at 11:30. Then Brighton, Fulham, Sunderland take on West Ham. Tottenham are up against Burnley. And Wolverhampton Wanderers will play Man City in the last game of Saturday. Then Sunday, you have 3 games. Chelsea against Crystal Palace is at 1 p.m. Same time, Nottingham Forest take on Brentford. And then the evening game on Sunday is a big one. Manchester United versus Arsenal. Prosper is a big Liverpool fan, that much I know. But he's also a big fan of Ghana football. And this week, Ghana football made a very big decision at Congress. Now, there's quite a lot that happened at Congress. We'll get through to quite a number of them, but we know where all of your interest is. So Prosper will answer your questions there, and then we'll get into all the other initiatives that were revealed at Congress. Some of them quite exciting. More money has come into the league and all of that. Prosper, anyway, so how was Congress for you? How did it go? There were quite a number of issues there. People complaining. Some of the journalists say you left them outside, and all kinds of things.
Yeah, I didn't like the
She was there. He's one of the people complaining. Prosper. So
they gave him a small tent.
He said why they gave him to sit. No, his bums were paining him.
So he needs a lot of space around to breathe.
Look,
it was very difficult.
There was just not enough space because I felt.
It's okay. Prosper is here. Your complaint is noted.
I'm sharing my experience. So that how will you know the nature of the complaint?
He's aware.
He's not aware. I've not spoken to him.
I'm aware.
Thank you very much.
I want to say it. No.
Actually, we need to get through a lot. Okay, you 1 minute. Just sum up what happened.
If you say you don't want us in the auditorium,
we didn't say
the
that.
alternative is that's what Henry told us. The alternative is that you have a space where they can sit and still monitor it. Right. The tents they provided was too small. There was not enough chairs there. Also, there was no, unless, and the internet in that place was not really reliable. So I felt if, like, for one of the hostels, you create space there, and then maybe we are able to watch it on the
Put a
screen.
stream there.
Because when we are in the auditorium, we don't actively participate in the process anyway.
Exactly. But you can monitor from another
Exactly,
room.
from another room. And for me, that was my challenge with the whole setup.
Okay, very well noted. Prosper says away. But Prosper, let's go through some of the key issues from Congress. I know that there were a lot of them, so I'll take them one by one, so that they don't drag and we are able to get through as many as possible. I've seen a lot of the new policies that you guys are introducing, but I think everybody is very fixated on the extension of the term limit of the GFA presidency. I mean, I've heard you on other platforms try to explain, but for the benefit of our audience, how did this whole process come about? How did you guys arrive at the decision to even include this in a proposal in the first place?
I thought you said we were talking about a lot of things.
So that's item number one. There's no,
I was following you.
Yeah, so it's item number one.
Item number one.
Yes, it's there. I have my notes. My notes are here. Item number one. From there, we'll go to league. We'll go to
impression of Congress.
Yes.
The initiatives.
Yes, exactly. I've
and
listed
then at
them.
one point you said,
Okay.
when we finish all that, they will come to.
Okay, so lawyer, start with your Congress.
Then for some reason, I don't know, you
Yes,
meandered your way and then you landed at first question.
Yes,
We give the people what they want.
Yes, thank you very much.
So everything that Achu said is not true.
No, you said you've heard that we trust that you fix it.
Yeah.
So let's go to
So
the,
Yes.
now I'll respond to the media.
Yes, no. Now I will speak for you.
So
the
the-
FA will do better. Now, the term of office.
So the 31st ordinary session of Congress came up at Pram Pram, the technical center of the Ghana Football Association on the 12th. That's on Tuesday. Okay, so we have 124 Congress members,
Okay.
and then we also have a special guest and then observers. And the Itimisa or once you accommodate these observers and the special guests and then the 124, you look at the setup, there's no space left. Initially, we were thinking we could squeeze and then at least some of the media will be in there and then the rest will wait. Because over the years, that's how it's been. Some of the media will go, even if there's space, some prefer standing outside doing interviews and then doing their setup, waiting for the end of the Congress to catch as many interviews as possible. But in this particular case, because we had the setup, is said that there's a table, the club name is on it, because previously they'll just sit and you may not know
Who's from where?
Yes, because you don't have a table to put the club name, the indications and everything. And we had the football to make, which made the thing colorful, but then it means that space became a problem. Like Achu said, the media, when they are in, they only observe. And so we provided, and we had about 127 media journalists at Congress.
You mean 127? That's what Henry said.
Yes.
Yeah, 127, not 227. So 127.
No,
That's still a lot.
Yes, a lot.
No, that is still a lot.
A lot. They are actually more than the
That is more
Congress
than the
members.
congressman. Yes,
Yes.
127 is more than
Yeah,
124.
So, and then the other thing was that because the arrangement, a cue we've taken is that next Congress, for instance, or next major event there, then we have to give a time for the media reporting, because that's one of the issues that came up.
Okay.
Before 6 o'clock, I got a call from the media journalist already at Pram. When those working have not even started.
I'm sure the person is from this office because they left here around 5.
And I was like, oh, I just, why? Did they want interview before? They said, no, they are already at Congress and they want to go in. And that the security said nobody
is allowed in.
is allowed in. Even the Congress members haven't started. They were working. They were putting the place up. And the worry is that if you allow them in, we are all journalists. The tendency is to report.
Yeah.
Then you report a Congress grant that is not
Ready.
Yeah, so we said they should wait. And then, so next time, the cue is to make sure that we give a reporting time.
Yeah.
Yes. And one of the key things that normally Congress most often starts at 9. This one was at 11. So
That's a
for
little later.
11 and for before 6 you are there. That's like 5 hours before Congress. And when we go to FIFA Congress, CAF Congress, even as delegates, there's a time the doors open. So you have to wait, and then there is 1 hour, mostly 1 hour or 45 minutes to the 10. That's where they call us, and we come to the lobby. You take pictures, you fraternize with other Congress members, and then the president, whether CAF or FIFA. At this time, the hall is closed. So we just fraternize, and then 10 or 15 minutes to time, the hall is open, and then they take the scanning again for FIFA. They will scan your barcode again before. So you have scanned barcode to come to the lobby, and then they scan again to go to the hall, and then you go to your seat. So that's what they do. So we have to take a queue and then give the exact time so that some people don't go ahead of time.
And go and sit there for 5 hours.
That was also very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so that's something that we pick going forward. The Congress itself, the convocation had been sent earlier. Indeed, for this Congress, we sent the date. You know, one of the provisions talk about the ESCO fixing the date and the venue. So this had gone way ahead, and then the convocation also went. And so now Congress started, and then we went by the agenda step by step. There are the financial for the year, I think 2023-24 was gone. The auditors came to give their opinion, and then it was approved by Congress. And then the budget and the program for this year revised, because we had approved budget. We followed the FIFA trend.
Financial year.
Yes, not their financial year, but the system they've set up.
Okay.
So FIFA can approve a 4-year contract or a 2-year contract budget, and then as conditions change, the economic conditions change or situation change, they can revise it.
Okay.
So we had 2025-26 budget passed last Congress already, but the conditions have changed in terms of the exchange rate and other things, so we have to revise it.
So we have the
So the revised budget for 2025-26, and then the budget for 2026-27.
That also had to be considered.
Yeah, so the CFO went through that and the condition and why that, so that then members approved that as well.
Speaking of financials, Prosper, is the FA broke then? I mean, what's in your financials? Because with the FA, we've had members say that the FA is broke, and that you are broke for spending all your money running the youth national teams and the women's team, because the government doesn't spend there. And I have been witness to some of those situations where, you know, the government isn't spending on youth teams. The FA has to struggle to put resources together, especially women's team and youth teams. This is true, no?
The way you put it, and then you end up by saying this is true.
Are you not broke?
We are not broke.
You have
we
enough
are not
money.
Broke. The government finances the national teams, the competitive national teams.
What does that
So
mean? Competitive national teams.
So we have U17, U20, U23, the Black Queens, the Black Stars. Those are the competitive ones. Then remember, we created a pathway. So we have U15, U16. Previously, we didn't have U15. Yes, then we have U19. Then we are even creating U21 for the women, so that there's a pathway for all the national teams. And then they build to the competitive ones. So that's what we've been doing, and that requires some resources. So there, when government is able to help us, we are very grateful. So government helps as well, but the number of national teams to require resources, and we have some partnership which helps, but we pull internal resources to because you need to. The national team building is a very difficult job. If you say you wait and then 3 weeks or 1 month to a competitive match, you can't play as it won't work. Okay. So that's why we do. If you have a U15, so currently we have the U15 school team, and then there was another U15 team.
Government doesn't fund those.
No, those are on us, and government supports us when they can, they do. And we must acknowledge and appreciate the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education. We work hand in hand with them. And so these U15 girls who won the schools competition, yes, they will graduate to U17. So they will come there with some cohesion.
That is true.
Otherwise, when we are building it from the ground, it's very difficult. And we want them to play very well. So the camping period then become extended, and you need resources to do that.
Yeah. So if I'm not being diabolical, I'm not being you're not broke. Okay, thank you. I'm not being diabolical here, but the U15, you don't deem it one of the competitive national teams, do you? It's a developmental national team.
Yes.
So it's not one of those that the government fully funds, which means that the team that won the CAF schools competition was funded mostly by the FA, right? Correct?
Government helps us. Why do you want to take the government out of the?
Oh, easy.
We work
I know that there's also money coming in. I want to know where it goes when it comes.
So let me explain this. The school's championship that was brought by the CAF president. Yeah. And his foundation is the one that put some money in there. You can't play if you don't have the ministry support or the education ministry support. So the application form is signed by the Ghana Football Association, the Ministry of Education, and then the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. That's how we do it. And then together, we put resources together to look at the team. The last year, we went to, 2 years ago, we went to Togo. The girls came in second. The boys came in third. And then last year the Zona 1 was played in Niger. The boys came third, and then the girls came in first. Yes. And so you have to fly these kids to these places to play. I think this year we'll play at Burkina Faso, the Zona 1, before the continental one.
And that's all on you?
It requires resources. Some on us, education service, we are pushing day to day. Have their challenges, yes.
You guys spend a lot of money.
But we work with them.
No problem. You spend a lot of money on the women's teams as well.
Yes.
Recently, the Black Queens, the camp that they did in Cote d'Ivoire, did you pay for it or the government did?
We did.
The FA.
We did, but the government, you see, sometimes there are components the government pay. So we can appeal to the government, and then they may pay their per diem, but maybe the flight will be on us, and then the camping and the training. So that's why I always say that don't take the government out and then make it like problem. We are paying.
My last question on that, because you said Ivan said we are not broke. So my last question on the national team spending has to be last year's very embarrassing news item about the government saying they didn't have $40,000 to give the Black Queens to go and play a friendly match. Did the FA not have $40,000 to support that? Since you did hand in hand, you didn't have money. You're not broke.
No, you see, so you may not be broke, but you have allocated resources to various things.
Yeah.
Yes, so we were trying to make the Black Queens very competitive. So we're trying to ensure that every FIFA window we would play a match. You see, and that particular window we needed the support. The government, the ministry, said that they would see if they can gather some resources for us, and we were relying on that. In the end, other competing demands came on the ministry, and they couldn't do it. And so that was the challenge with that one. But it's not like the ministry doesn't doesn't support that particular instance. The situation, the resources couldn't be
put in.
Yes, but in the other ones they come through for us, and we are very grateful.
Prosper, let's get back on track then. So financials, your financials look okay. You're not broke. That was considered approved. Then came the approval, the consideration and approval of all the other issues at Congress.
Just a quick one before Prosper.
Yes, Muftau.
You and I have had this conversation privately, but I would like you to explain this consultancy thing that many people often talk about often. Because when you take a look at that, your consultancy, last year for alone was like 60 million. Could you just please just explain?
You mean on their financials?
Yes.
The expenditure line items. There's 60 million on consultancy.
Yes. So consultancy.
You've explained that.
So they are technical consultants. We could have written coaches, but it's not only coaches. So they are technical consultants. You are talking about Norris. The FA pays the Black Queens coach
not the government.
Fully. So from accommodation, flight, and then if it's a competitive match, the ministry pays for the players and everybody who comes down, and then they go and play the matches. But when it's a non-competitive friendly match, or they are camping just in Ghana and then they go their separate way, or she's coming to scout or anything, we pay accommodation in Ghana and everything. The other technical consultants we have. So you are talking about coaches. The coaches, youth team coaches, we don't pay them. So we give them some allowances.
They're not on contract.
Yes, they are not on contract.
But
by U17, we pay. So as when we get money, so they are not even on consistent allowances. I'm talking about allowances, which is separate from the they play their match and they are paying allowances. No, not that one.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, so this is they've come. The boys they've gone home. They come again. They come. You have to give them something. It's not substantial, but when you gather all the national teams and the allowances we give them again.
Why is that though? Why is it that coaches are youth level, under 17, under 15, or under 20, the most critical area, the most critical point of player development, the coaches there aren't contracted and paid by the ministry, and FA has to be paying them allowances as and when.
It's a resources thing. So, for instance,
it's not a priority thing.
In U17 Lai's case, we had a contract with him. We had to negotiate and plead with him to take a certain quantum, which otherwise, if he's really negotiating for a contract, that figure would be low. Yeah, it would be more. So we had to impress upon him, and then it's something out of. In the previous years, we were not doing that. Coaches are assigned, and then what they benefit from is the per diems and then the match winning bonus. But we had to do so. In that figure, you are talking about
that goes into
Lai's 1-2 is there, and then the allowances, small allowances we give as and when we get money, and then sometimes you have the analysis people.
Video analysis,
the video analysis,
psychologists.
Yes, those are technical people. We don't pay them as they should, but we give them something. All those monies that we spend on those technical consultants go there. So they are not a financial consultant or any other.
So I have a question for you. So if you have a team like the Black Stars, right? You have the head coach, his 2 assistants, video analysts. We know that recently you added a few more people to the backroom staff, psychologists, all those people. Are all those people contracted and being paid by the ministry, or some of them have to be paid as consultants from the GFA?
Once a while we may have 1 or 2, but largely all of them has to be paid by the ministry. Because for instance, sometimes the coaches and the players may demand the physical trainer. So there may be a physical trainer who will get allowance per match. So it's not on the a yearly contract. When the match is available, it comes and then we will pay something. So all this category of technical consultants, when we pay, that's the line item that it goes to.
All right, let's.
Currently, Nora is gone, but the new coach.
You have to.
So next year, when you see consultants, please.
I find this revelation very confusing. The whole idea that the ministry doesn't pay for the coaches of the salaries of the coaches of any of the national teams except Black Stars, even for Black Queens. I'm very surprised to learn.
Actually, there was a project earlier on we were doing which was considering everything, and we did a whole Excel sheet for all the national teams and the likely amount every
per position.
Yes, and then we did it. We look at the quantum, and then the ministry said, let's start with the Blasters, and then we'll come to the Queens, and then we'll graduate gradually, slowly, and then find the resources.
So it's work in the process.
Yes, so it's something that we did, and it's still there. So as and when we keep coming down, but so like he said, the FA supports. You see, when somebody is helping you, you also have to help yourself, and that's why some resources have gone into that direction.
Fair enough, Prosper. Let's talk about the main issues at Congress then before time gets the better of us. So the biggest issue at Congress was the vote overwhelmingly endorsed by Congress members the proposal to change the term of office of the GFA president from 2 terms to 3 terms. Quite a number of people are outraged. But at Congress, the decision was clear-cut that the Congress members absolutely loved the idea and they voted overwhelmingly in favor. The question I have is in twofold. Question number one, Prosper, why and what problem does that fix? What problem of our football that's extending the office to 3 terms? What fundamental problem does that solve in the development of our football? And then number 2, the biggest stakeholders in the football are not the stakeholders or the members of Congress. It's the fans, the general public. We are the biggest stakeholders in the football. The people, the Congress members are mere representatives. And if you listen to conversations before Congress.
But when you say they are mere representatives,
in fact, they are privileged representatives. That's what I mean.
Maybe you have to choose your words carefully.
Yeah, so let me put it this way. They are privileged representatives, okay, who invested money or invest money in football. And so, but the biggest stakeholders in football are the fans. There's no football without the fans. And I'm saying that the fans, in the build-up to that Congress, we have done shows, we have spoken to people. There was a massive angst about that particular proposal, and yet it appeared those public sentiments were not taken into consideration. Why is that? So let's start with the first question. Why was this necessary?
Yeah, so you have to
go to the fix is a question.
Yes.
You have to go to the genesis of this whole thing. The 2019 GFA status that was promulgated at the surgeons,
physicians and
surgeons in 2019, I think in October. In the build-up to that, there were a lot of agitations from the various blocks in terms of Premier League teams, Division 1 League teams. Everybody was, even the former players. There was the Retired Players Association, there was the PFAG, there was referees, match commissioners. They were all at the place just to formulate this. A draft was brought, and people took turns to make a claim and make their case. For instance, regional football associations, you say that they are the biggest, they are the base and the biggest constituency in football, because we are talking about all Division 2 clubs, all Division 3, and there are a lot. Coles, U17, U15, U13, Women's Regional Division 1, and they cut across the nation. The status that was there before normalization had all 10 reps from the grassroots on the ESCO, the executive council, or if you like, the executive committee. This, in the current one, was cut to 2 out of 10. They felt they've been shortchanged. Okay. And they've been at it ever since. Then, when you come to the Congress representation, the grassroots football at 33 per region. It was cut to 22 per region. Again, this is something that they've been at it since 2019. Now, women's football at the time, we had 16 teams, and then half was taken to be members of the
Exco.
No, members of Congress, which is 8. So women Premier League clubs have 8 reps. The caveat that was put there was that 5 must be women, even though some men own team. Yes, but because we want a women's representation, and they have 1 representative at the executive council. Okay. Since then, the women's Premier League, we've increased it from 16 to 20. So they have twofold argument. One, the fact that they are 20 and they want all 20 there, because division for them, they are equated to division 1. Division 1 have 48 clubs and they are all there. Premier has 18 and they have 2 votes each, making 36. So they want just they are 20. If they won't get that, they are saying that at the time, for them, the argument was that they will get half. Now they are 20, they should get the half, which is 10. But now they have 8. Okay, so these arguments have been coming. Then there is a clamor for the growth of women football and the elevation that is happening right from FIFA through Europe to everywhere. And we were one of the first people to have a women's rep, a permanent women's rep on our ESCO. They want to increase that because of their sheer size now, their elevation and their development, which everybody in football agrees. So that is the argument for the second rep, and then the argument of making one a second vice president. Okay. Then you have match commissioners. They are like referees. They both work for the FA and they are paid allowance. And they are both trained, developed by the FA. Referees are there, match commissioners are not there. So they've been asking for a rep.
So there's been agitations from various groups.
Exactly.
And representation.
Yes.
Ever since the 20
old players, retired players association
also want to be there.
Because you see, fortunately or unfortunately, that is the scenario we have in Ghana. So it's for some of them who come to the FA, and I'm talking about the very achievers in terms of even AFCON. I'm talking about the Ibrahim Sunday, the Osei Kofis. They see themselves as retired players association, and they are the members. And then we have the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana, and they are the local rep of FIPRO, which is the players body internationally. So because of that, when it got to that argument, and the retired players wanted, in the past, the statute had only players. If you look at the previous statute, it says players. 2 players.
So Prosper.
So when we were going, there were times that you pick one from here and then you pick one from there.
So I think that point is very clear.
Yes.
That
so
ever since 2019,
correct. So we've been
agitations.
Yes, and we've been having
one
proposals.
of them the extension of the term of office of the president. That's what I want to know. You've established all those ones.
Okay.
You haven't mentioned
that
one.
So in the previous one, there was no term limit at all.
And the position.
Yes, there was no term limit. Now, when it came to the discussion of term limit, it was split. People wanted us to adopt FIFA and CAF, and then people wanted 2, and the 2 was in the 2019. Okay. Going forward, all this agitation, we keep getting proposals that we should change. For some people, and I've heard people even argue that we can change the statutes the way we want without going to CAF and FIFA. And that the current administration doesn't want to do the changes. That is what led to the Kumasi
Congress.
The
Congress
famous Kumasi,
in
yes, in quote. That after that, a whole proposal, a book of proposal was sent.
Was one of them extending the term limit?
No, they didn't have term limit in
So
their
where
own.
did
Wait,
the term
Osman,
limit
we want to
come
know the problem is
Yes,
solved
because
because there's no
we don't have
time.
time.
Yeah, so the
we want to
problem
know.
that is solved. As for the legalities and things, there,
Look,
we know you are well within your rights to do
the
it, but
pressure-
why?
Yeah, the
Because
pressure
we-
to change the statute.
Yeah,
I
so-
get it. You've made that point brilliant.
So
but I
it
want to
led
know the
to-
issue of the presidency.
Yeah, so it led to, we've gotten other ones. So
Yeah.
it led to the ESCO forming the Statute Review Committee.
Yes.
Now, all the proposals we've received already, some which are public and some which are were not public, were given to them. And then they made a publication and they said, we are going on this path. Those who also have any proposal, bring it now, because when we go on this path, we would take it to FIFA and then we will take it to Congress. That
Which
was
is what you
published.
did.
Yes, that was published. It's still on the website. And then Klaus brought proposals. Now, after around that time, we had various meetings with various stakeholders at the FA, Premier League, Division 1. Everybody was engaged. And then it was consolidated and then was sent to FIFA. Now, FIFA works, governance will work with CAF governance. Then they bring you a response.
Okay.
So we got a response. So this started in 2022 because the deadline for final deadline for proposals was 2nd August 2022. And since then,
okay.
yeah, and since then
So
this
you
has
follow
gone.
the right process.
Now-
That's my simple question to you, Prosper.
Yeah.
We don't have to. I want to say, so we went to Congress. Of
Yeah.
course, Congress voted, approved
Yeah.
it overwhelmingly.
Yeah,
After this approval, with this 3-term limit,
yeah.
what do you think it adds to our football? What does it do for our football? The 3-term, it's approved now.
That two
Yeah.
times couldn't do.
Yeah, yes. That's
No,
what I want.
the argument is not about
No, no,
what
I-
three
I
terms
want-
do against what 2 terms.
No, we have 3 terms now.
Yes.
How do
that's
you
what-
think it benefits our football?
It's only with time that we'll see the benefit.
What were the intended benefits of it?
No, the statute says that if you are bringing a proposal, you bring a proposal and there's an explanation
Yes.
why you want the proposal.
What's our
the
progressive explanation?
The explanation given by Yashin when they brought it was the fact that the ESCO is made up of 12 members. Now, for 11 members, they have 3 terms. And for the president alone, he has 2 terms. And then the second reason was that FIFA have their ESCO. Everybody in the ESCO have 3 terms. The CAF, the same. So, alignment. We should align internally with all the ESCO members having 3. And then the second one is aligning with FIFA and CAF having 3.
Was it possible to have reduced the term of office of the ESCO members to 2 to align with the presidents?
The proposal wasn't like that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
From the office, we can only take proposals
that have
forward.
been brought
Yes.
to you. Okay. Listen, Prosper, you have to come back here for us to have.
Yeah, this is my home. So,
Yeah, exactly. But for now,
do you know why this is my home?
yes,
Why?
because this is your home.
I was going to refer you to when we started Speakeasy.
I know. Oh,
you see?
Anyway, Prosper
You see?
Hasenadro, you were very kind to join us in studio. I wish you came in earlier. We had a lot.
I'll
of time.
find time and come because
Yes,
there are
please.
more.
There's more. I've
Things
seen a lot
to
of the other initiatives, the increased price money. They're all
Yes.
things we need to expand
Yeah.
and talk about and see how all of that benefits our
For
football.
me,
And even
the
for this matter, we need even bigger expansion.
next when we are going on the football for schools project for the girls,
Yeah.
we have football for girls and football for schools. So football for girls, we introduce football to girls from the primary school because some of them can actually play, but they thought the ball was heavier. So when you give them the ball and they kick about, they
So you
develop
said next time you are
interest.
going, you want to carry Nabila in.
All of you,
Okay.
all of you.
Thank you, Prosper.
We
Thank
need
you.
more girls in the
Thank you.
fold,
Yeah. Game Plan, of course, on 99.7 Joe FM and on Hits 103.9 FM.